G'day. Today we're going to be talking about the Mesoamerican Macuahuitl, most famously used by the Aztec, or the Mexica nation, if you prefer. It is a type of sword made with wood and obsidian, as pre-contact Mesoamerican civilizations did not have the technology to make bronze or steel swords. It consists of a flat wooden blade with a series of incredibly sharp obsidian teeth along it. It would make it an incredibly dangerous weapon for hacking and cutting. In fact, there are accounts of a horse's head being severed by a blow from a large Macuahuitl. We do know that this weapon was often used in tandem with a circular shield or two-handed as a broadsword. We can't know exactly how this was applied in a doctrinal sense because there are no written records of it. Almost all the accounts we have of this are second-hand accounts, either of Spanish writers describing them in combat, or even second-hand information from that. There are no written accounts by people who were actually trained in how to use them. So any talk about how they were used is purely speculative outside of that. The obsidian teeth were incredibly sharp. In fact, they are considered sharper than steel swords, but this came at a great trade-off. The obsidian teeth were very brittle compared to steel, and had a tendency of breaking in the heat of battle, which seems like it would be rather a nuisance. This does raise an interesting question, the question of this weapon's parrying capabilities. And this is speculative. To the best of my knowledge, there's no direct historical information about this. If somebody can prove me wrong and find something, then please send it to me. I'd be very curious to see it. But nothing that I've seen. Because presumably, people would have used it to parry in some situations. But obviously you wouldn't want to parry with the obsidian teeth, because that would break them and result in time-consuming and expensive repairs. So it seems likely that you would have been able to parry with the flat blade of the weapon. In conclusion, the Macuahuitl was one of the most formidable weapons created by a pre-bronze working civilization. It came to be respected and feared even by Spanish conquistadors, with their steel weapons, horses, guns, and crossbows. Although, on a side note, they didn't actually have very many guns. I believe that the Cortez expedition had less than 24 guns, or matchlock muskets, between his entire expedition, and possibly a couple of cannons. Their crossbows and steel swords and horses made a much larger difference. Anyway, don't forget to tune in next week when we teach you how to make one of these. Toodaloo.